Hi, this is Cindy from Kinder K Love Those Kinders, and I thought I would give you a tutorial about how to use Keynote for creating printed documents. Keynote is rich in creative components, but I am just going to show you the basics you need to get started on printed documents. So the first thing you do is you go either to your doc or your applications folder and find your Keynote icon. Mine is blue and I keep that on my doc. Yours perhaps might be orange. And this is what comes up for default for me. I know there's a way to change a default, but at this time I'm not exactly sure where that is. So what I do is I go over here to where it says Change Master and I click that. And I come down here and I want a blank page. I am using Keynote 6.22 version, and if you go up here to Keynote where it says About Keynote, this will tell you your version. What I'm going to show you today may not look exactly like your version, but I think that the versions are similar enough that what I'm saying will be helpful. I believe in the old versions, your Inspector tab, now Inspector is really important in Keynote, your Inspector tab is up here. In the newer version, it's here to the right. You can go View, and here's Inspector. You can hide your Inspector, and then anytime you want to view these panes, you can do that as well. So this is what came up after I changed my master. The one thing that Keynote does do is it does not always show you the entire page. You actually have to tell it that you want it to fit in the window. So you go here to Zoom and it says Fit in Window, and there you have it. Now this is a landscape orientation, and if that's what you want to use, you would simply begin inserting your text and clip art now. But what I want to do is show you how to change the orientation to portrait, because this is something that I had to learn the hard way. I just was very frustrated that I didn't know how to do it. So here's how you do it. You come over here to the Inspector pane, and right now the format is blue. You want to go to the document. Now that it's blue, you know that you're going to be able to get in that window pane. So you come down here to Slide Size. I'm going to go to Custom Slide Size. This window pops up. It's got width and height. What I'm going to do is simply flip-flop those numbers. So this is going to be 768, and the height is going to be 1024. And I click OK, and voila, there we have a portrait size document. So once you've got it the size you want it to be, then what you're going to do is you're going to start inserting your text and your clip art. So just like PowerPoint, you're going to come and you're going to insert text box. In Keynote, the text box usually pops up right in the middle of the page. Now I would like to change the text, so I'm going to come back over here to the Inspector. You notice that the document window is open, but that's not what I want. I want to come over here to Format. Once I get to Format, there's three choices for formatting, and Keynote knows that I want to do something with text, so it went straight to text. I'm going to change my font, and I'm going to go down here, and then I'm going to type my words. The umbrella is big and red. So those are my words, but I would like to decrease the size a little bit. So to do that, you can see that there's a blue box around those words. Blue means that you are able to make a change. So just like in PowerPoint, you're going to highlight your words. You're going to go over here and you are going to make your words smaller. So there are my words. Now if I want to insert clip art, I go up here to Insert. Now in PowerPoint, it's Insert Image or Insert Picture, but in Keynote, it's Insert Choose. Once you've clicked Choose, it brings you to the last window that you had opened. So here is my desktop, and on my desktop you can see that I have a clip art folder, and I could go there and I could do a search through clip artist what I am searching for, but instead I have found it easier to just go up here to the search bar and to just type what I'm searching for. So I'm searching for an umbrella. When I do that, you can see that everything that has umbrella in the file name is popping up. Right here, I have the word show all, and you can see that there is a number in parentheses. That number in parentheses means that there are some files that are hidden. So I am just going to click on that show all, and yes, I do want it to show me everything. And so I'm just continuing on through here, looking for specifically my red umbrella. So right here, you can see that this is what I want to use. So I click this image, and I could simply just click insert and it would go to my document. But sometimes I would like to go back to the file because I might be looking for similar items. And to do that, clip art, to find that clip art, Keynote shows you down here specifically where that umbrella came from. So you can see it's on my desktop. It's my clip art folder. Dots of Fun is a clip artist, and then this is the folder that the umbrella is in. So I would click that, and then it shows me all the components that are in that folder. This is kind of cool, especially if you're doing, you're wanting to change, just slightly change your slides. And right now I want a red umbrella, but maybe my next one I might want just another different color of umbrella. And sometimes you want to keep similar clip artist styles. So this is nice. So I'm going to clip umbrella red, and I'm going to insert it. And you can see that there's a blue box around here, so I'm stretching it. You can see that there is a dotted diagonal line that is showing you the center of the paper diagonally. And when I show it this way, you can see that there's a gold line here that shows me that that is the center of the paper vertically, which is kind of cool. So then I'm going to, and if you want to resize, the nice thing about Keynote is you see these little resize boxes. In PowerPoint, you have to start at the corner to resize items proportionally, but in Keynote, you actually can just any text, any of these little boxes will shrink or enlarge your clip art proportionally. If you don't want them to shrink proportionally, this is something that I learned the hard way too. Sometimes you want something thinner or wider. So what you do is you go over here to Arrange in the inspector box, and you can see here that it says Constrain Proportions. If you unclick that, then you can shrink or you can make it wide again. And if you want to get it back to originally how you did it before, you just go up here to Edit and you just undo and you get it back to the way you wanted it to be, and then you can click that again if you want to keep your proportions constrained. The other thing is if you want to copy and paste your text box, you just click and you can right click and you can copy and paste, or you can go up here and you can edit, copy, and paste. So then I am going to type, I love my umbrella. Now you could simply leave this document as is and print it, or you could add another slide, and to do that you go up here to slide. You don't go to insert, you go to slide and you do new slide, and you could add something different. If you want to delete that slide, you notice it's blue. You go up here to edit, delete. This is blue. If you want to duplicate this slide, you go to edit, duplicate, and there you would have that slide. And if you wanted to not have a red umbrella, you wanted to change this to blue, your next slide would be blue, sorry. Then you would do the same thing. You'd go to Insert, Choose, and you can see that this popped right up, so you didn't even have to do a search. And you would click blue, and you would stretch it the way you wanted it to be stretched. And there you would have 2 pages. Now, I like to add layers to my documents, so here's how to do that. You would go up here to shape. PowerPoint, the nice thing about PowerPoint is it has a lot more shapes than Keynote, but Keynote has enough that it's workable, but I do like the shape options in PowerPoint better. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to stretch my shapes, and you notice that it's layered on top, and what I want it to be is layered on the bottom. So right here where it says arrange, right here you can see that this is grayed out and this is back. So I'm going to click back. I'm going to resize this square just a little bit like this, and I'm going to make it just a little smaller and center it a little bit, and I want to change the color on that. So what I'm going to do is go back here to style, and I'm going to go to fill, and here's fill. So I have options for how I want to fill it. If I want to fill it with a color, I would click color. Then right here is a pane that you can click, and it has limited choices, but I usually like more choices. So I click this little world, this little globe, this color wheel, and you can do here, you can pick color wheel. Some people really like this because it gives the words, the names of the colors you're using, but I prefer the crayon box, so I'm going to pick yellow, and I'm going to click out of that. Now I don't like that border, so where it says border, it says no border, I'm actually going to make a line. I want to make it a little wider, so right here it says 5 point, so I'm going to make that a little wider. You have different choices for lines. And this is very similar to PowerPoint too, where you can choose the different kinds of lines that you'd like. I'm going to go back up here. Another option in Keynote is if you'd like a picture frame. This is also in PowerPoint, where it's got the little drop shadows. You could play with that. I'm actually going to go back to line. Now, I would like to layer this one more time. So I could simply insert another shape and layer it. Or what I could do is I could copy and paste the shape, which I am going to do. And that, again, is going to be layered on top of my document, which I don't want it to be. So what I have to do is I have to go over here to arrange. Oh, sorry, style. I know, arrange, sorry. And then you go to back. Now, I don't want that to be yellow. I want to change the color a little bit on that back layer. So I go to style, and once again, I go to my options here, and I'm going to go to image fill. This is what came up. That's not what I want. That's a default color. So I'm going to go to choose. And this time, it's going to bring me to Dots of Fun again, but that's not what I want. I actually want just a red background, so I'm simply going to type red. And once again, I'm going to make sure that all my windows are open, and this is going to show me everything that has red in its name. So if I click this, you can see that this is showing me where I got it from, but for now I'm just going to use that to color that last layer. And I don't have to do anything to the border because it's already, I copied and pasted it from the yellow one. So you just kind of play with it and get it to where you want it to be. Now, if you would like this border and these two shapes to be in your next slide, you could just duplicate this. So you could go like this. You could click and you could go edit, duplicate, and then you can see here that it's giving you a duplicate, and you could change your wording that way. Another way, I'm going to delete that. Another way is to go back to this slide, and you simply hold the shift key down, and so you are going to edit, copy, and then you will go here and you'll go edit, paste, and of course the layering is on top, so you have to go to arrange and you go to back. And there you have your two documents, or your two slides that look similar with a few differences. Now, lots of times you have lots of pages and you want to look at them all together in a different way rather than up here in the navigation pane. So you would go up here to View and you would go to Light Table. When you go to Light Table, then you can see all your slides, and that's when you can move them around however you want them to be. And then you go back up here to View and you go to Navigator. So there is how you create a document. I'll quickly tell you how you print it. You just go up here to File. There's a couple options for printing. You can go File, Print, like this. One thing that I did not know either was that when you go to print, I panicked when I saw this because I had created in Portrait, and the default in Keynote is landscape. But it's an easy fix. You just go over here to where it says Keynote, and you go to Page Attributes, and you simply change it to Portrait. And now you can print. So you can simply print, or if you want to add any security, you can go down here to or to where it says PDF, and you save as a PDF, and you title your document Umbrella Example 2. Make sure that you save it in the correct place. I've lost some of my documents because I haven't looked at this, so I don't want this in Weather Set Dots of Fun. I actually want this on my desktop, so make sure you set that. That would create, if you simply did save, then you would just create a PDF document that would be saved on your desktop. But if you'd like to add some security, you've got three options here. You choose the second one, and it's password protected, which means that if anyone wants to copy your clip art or text, they have to know the password. And then you click Save, and there it is going to be saved on your desktop. Another way to print is if you go File and Export to within the Keynote platform, and you would go PDF, and your image quality is best, and you go Next. Once again, you'll have to title, and you actually can title. I mean, this has to be a difference. I was going to say you could title them the same, but you cannot. You have to title them differently. So then you will export. So that is how you do that. If you want to turn this into an image, you would go File, Export to an Image, and you would click Next. Once again, you would have to name it Umbrella Example, and where you want your file to go, and you would go Export, and it would create a file. So let's suppose that you want to insert another slide. You go to Slide, New Slide, and you want to insert the images that we just created. So, oops, I'm going to go back again. That was pretty fast. So you can see that these are my PDFs, and this is my blue folder that is the umbrella example that I named it. And there's the two images that I just created. So I can insert those, and I can put that here, and I can insert the blue one as well. So I'm going to go to my blue, and I'm going to insert that too. And again, I can stretch it however I want. The other cool thing, very quickly I'm going to show you, and then I need to stop, is that when you're inserting, you can insert, and you actually can hold the Shift key down and insert both of them at the same time. And one is just layered on top of the other. So you can just, and then you just see how they both are connected. That's called grouped. So what you're going to do is just click out like that. And if you do want to group them, you just hold the Shift key and you hold those two images, and down here it says Group. And then you can see that the blue box is around both images, and you can shrink them any way you want. So there you go. That's quick. And I could tell you a lot more, but I need to stop. I hope that some of this information was helpful. Once again, this is Cindy from Kinder K Love Those Kinders. And until next time, bye.